He said it was a work dinner. But then I saw the restaurant confirmation. Window seat, wine pre-ordered. It wasn't for me. So I found her husband and made my own reservation. My name's Rachel. I'm 41 and I teach business administration at a university in Seattle. My husband Brian and I had been together for 17 years. From the outside, we looked solid. Great jobs, cozy home, regular vacations. But the truth? The cracks had been there for years. I just didn't want to see them. One evening, Brian was in the shower. I heard a ping from his phone. It was on the nightstand. I never snooped, ever. But something, gut instinct maybe, made me look. The screen lit up. Table for two confirmed at Aria. Friday, 7:30 p.m., window seat. She'll love it. Aria, one of the most expensive restaurants in the city. We once dreamed of going there for our 10th anniversary, but he canceled, said it was a work thing. But now he had a reservation for someone else. I didn't mean to unlock the phone, but my fingers moved on their own. The code? Still our wedding date. Same 4 digits, same lie. What I found wasn't a flirty little fling. It was a second life, a full-blown affair with someone named Ava, a younger woman who worked in communications at Brian's law firm. Photos, messages, even a weekend getaway to Santa Barbara. I stared at those photos, him holding her, smiling like he didn't have a wife at home, like I hadn't stood by him through the 2008 crisis, like we never mattered. Then he called out casually from the bathroom, "Hey, have you seen my blue tie?" As if nothing had happened, as if he hadn't just torched our marriage. I didn't scream. I didn't throw the phone. I just placed it back where it was. That night, I lay beside him, stiff as stone, while he slept soundly. For the first time, I saw him clearly, and I knew I'd never see him the same way again. The next morning, I kissed him goodbye like always. "Good luck with those Japanese clients," I said. Then I picked up my phone and called the university. I requested 3 days off, not to cry, to prepare. By noon, I was calm, cold, focused. Brian had no idea that the dinner he planned was still on, just not the way he imagined. I went through his calendar. There it was, 7:30 p.m., Friday, Aria, window seat, wine selected in advance. Then I searched for Ava's name in his firm's directory. Found her, Ava Morrison. Took just minutes to find her husband on social media, Daniel Morrison, executive architect downtown. Kind eyes, gentle smile. He had no idea. So I wrote him. As a professor, I sometimes invite guest speakers to campus. That was my angle. "Mr. Morrison, I came across your recent design work and would love to discuss a potential speaking engagement. Could we meet Friday night at Aria, 7:30 p.m.? Looking forward to it. Rachel Bennett, Seattle Metro University." 2 hours later, he replied, "Thank you, Miss Bennett. That time works perfectly. See you Friday." I called Aria next. "A table for 2, please, near the window if possible. Ideally, close to the Hamilton Rothman reservation. We're potential partners." The hostess agreed without hesitation. It was set, the perfect view, the perfect reveal. I arrived early, wore the teal silk dress Brian once said was too loud for dinner. My hair in a bun, champagne heels, no jewelry, just clarity. The waiter led me to my table. I could see their window seat from mine. They weren't there yet. I ordered a martini. My chest was tight, but my mind was clear. Then, Rachel Bennett, Daniel. He looked just like his photos, only more tired. We shook hands, made small talk about design and sustainability, but my eyes kept drifting to the entrance. Then they walked in. Brian, in the gray blazer I gave him for his birthday. Ava, in a red dress, laughing as if she owned the room. When he pulled out her chair, I saw the intimacy, the practiced comfort, the lie. I turned to grab my napkin. and met Brian's eyes. He froze. I excused myself and walked to the restroom, not to cry, but to prepare. On my way out, I ran into Ava. She froze. "You're Rachel, right?" I nodded. "And you're the one holding hands with my husband while yours is sitting less than 10 feet away." She turned pale. "Please, not here." "Why not?" I said quietly. "Isn't this the perfect place? Candlelight, music, secrets on full display." Just then, Brian appeared, his face drained of color. "Rachel, what are you—" I cut him off. "Daniel," I called softly, "can you come here for a second?" He walked over, confused. "Daniel, this is my husband, Brian, and I think you already know Ava." Silence. Complete, painful silence. Minutes later, I requested a private room for 4. No screaming, no drama, just the truth. We sat down. Brian and Ava looked like kids caught cheating on an exam. "Start 3 days ago," I said. "When you got that reservation. That's when I saw everything." I told Daniel I read every message, every photo, every lie. Daniel sat still. "What are you going to tell me?" he asked Ava. "That it was a mistake, that you felt unappreciated." She cried. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." Brian looked at me. "Rachel, please, I messed up, but don't let this be the end." I smiled. "Brian, the end didn't start tonight. It started the moment you looked at her the way you used to look at me." Then I placed a hotel key on the table. "I'll be at the hotel across the street. You're welcome to go home. I'd rather not see you there when I return Monday." That night, I cried. Not quiet tears, not pretty sobbing, the raw, shaking kind, the kind that cleans you out. 17 years, gone. Then came the knock. It was Daniel. He looked exhausted, lost. "I didn't know where else to go," he said. I let him in. We sat by the window, talked like 2 strangers carrying the same wound. "I think I'm filing for divorce," I said. Daniel nodded. "Me too." We talked until midnight. Then he stood to leave. "If you need a friend," he said, "I'm here." Brian begged, called, texted, sent flowers. I ignored it all. I filed for divorce. 3 weeks later, a friend saw Brian and Ava at a cafe. They didn't look happy. 2 days later, Brian sent me one final message. "I tried to move on with her, but she doesn't look at me the way you did." I didn't reply. Spring came early that year. One Saturday morning, my phone buzzed. "Coffee at Tanner's?" It was Daniel. Since that night, Daniel and I had become friends. Then something more. Slowly, gently. He showed up to speak at my seminars. We took walks, shared pizzas on my tiny balcony. "He didn't think we're changing," he said once. "I think we're finally becoming who we really are." One warm night, he looked at me and said, "I'm not rushing, but if one day you want to try again, not marriage, but something real, I'm ready." I smiled. "I think I already have." A year after Aria, I ran into Brian at a retirement party. He looked older, softer, less sure of himself. He apologized, for real this time. I forgave him, not for him, for me. Then Daniel walked in. Brian saw him. "He's a good man," Brian said. "You deserve a new start." "I do," I replied, "and so do you. Just do it the right way this time." Later that night, Daniel and I danced under soft lights. No grand promises, just peace, real peace. That night, under the stars, I told Daniel. There was a time I thought betrayal was the end. He squeezed my hand. And now? Now I think it was just a pause so I could turn towards something better. Because I didn't just survive betrayal, I rebuilt. I chose myself, and I have no regrets. What would you have done in Rachel's place? Would you have stayed silent or revealed the truth just like she did? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more real stories of betrayal, strength, and revenge.